Hello everyone, this is Ron from High Tech Legion, and what we are going to take a look at today is the Midtower case from Cubitek called the M4. And as you can see on the box, you have a shot of what the M4 looks like, and there's an illustration and a couple of the unique features that set the M4 apart from other Midtower cases. It has a mini USB cable integrated on top, aside from having the usual USB 2.0 ports at the top. And it also has a storage compartment for CDs and our accessories in front. And it has a bottom mounted power supply. And of course, since it is a gaming oriented case, it supports CPU coolers that are up to 160mm tall and graphic cards that are up to 310mm long. This means it actually can fit a dual GPU video card such as the HD 6990 from AMD. And to the side of the box, see a list of specifications in 5 languages, and the material is made up of steel. It's about half a millimeter thick, and it supports standard motherboard sizes and smaller, such as micro ATX and mini ITX. It has 4 5.25-inch drive bays, 5 3.5-inch drive bays, and 7 PCI expansion slots. It comes with a single front 120mm fan and a rear 120mm fan. Actually, I think the front 120mm fan is optional, but the rear 120mm exhaust fan comes pre-installed. We're going to verify that once we open up the box and see the M4 in detail. You can see on the cover, the M4 is derived. The M4 name is derived from the M4 carbine assault rifle, and is, as mentioned earlier, it's aimed for gaming. It is marketed as a gaming case, and hence the support for very long graphic cards. And let us open up the box and see how the M4 carbine assault rifle has influenced the styling of the case itself. Out of the box, we can see some of the assault rifle styling in the M4 case. You have the handle in front of the front panel bezel. It is made of plastic. It's lightweight, but the body is made of steel. And the front 4 of the drive bay covers are actually meshed. And you have a, if you look at the side panel, it has 2 mounting areas for 120mm or 140mm fan. This is actually the standard M4. There is another version called the M4 Silencer, which doesn't have the fan mounting options on the side panels, but actually has sound dampening foams on the inside. The Cubitek M4 has space for 4 5.25-inch external drive bays. Actually has an LED right there in the middle, in the front. On the lower part of the front panel, you'll find this unique feature. It is a storage compartment where you can store CDs or even documents for all your various components. There's also an LED right at the bottom and the Cubitek logo right in the middle. On the right side of the front bezel, you will find the power button, and on the left side you will find the reset button. The front panel I/O connectors of the Cubitek M4 consists of 2 audio ports, 1 for your microphone and 1 for your headphone, and 2 standard USB 2.0 ports. There's also a mini USB 2.0 cable that is built into the Cubitek M4. Behind the front panel you will find dust filter for the optional front intake fan, and there are also dust filters on the front 5.25-inch drive bay covers. To remove these drive bay covers so you can install a optical drive or any external device, you simply push the locks on each side while pushing the drive bay cover inward. Underneath you will find a ventilation area for the bottom mounted power supply. At the back there is a pre-installed 120mm exhaust fan, and in this fan mounting area you can also install a smaller 90mm or an 80mm exhaust fan. There are 7 PCI expansion slots on the Cubitek M4, and to the right of it there are perforated holes for additional airflow, as well as 2 pre-cut and grommeted water cooling holes. The power supply is also bottom mounted and filtered. The right side panel is plain except for a recessed handle area, similarly found on the left side panel. On the left side panel you have mounting options for 140mm or 120mm intake fan. You also have these convenient side panel handles and thumb screws that hold your side panels in place. Inside the Cubitek M4 you will find a bag of accessories that consists of a 5 1/4 inch to 3.5 inch external drive bay adapter. You have your hard drive toolless drive rails. Appears to be a mini USB to micro USB adapter. And you have a smaller bag of accessories. Actually consists of the screws necessary to mount all the components. In a separate bag, compartment inside is the motherboard screws. And these are your motherboard standoffs that you will use for the motherboard screws. You have your motherboard speaker. You have another bag of screws, possibly extras, just in case you lose the first one. You've got some rubber mounting, appear to be a small round rubber elevation mounts. I'm assuming for the power supply, most likely, or some other device, maybe at the bottom. We'll take a look at it later during the installation. You have 2 cable ties, and you have your motherboard standoff to screwdriver hex adapter. Makes it much more convenient to install your motherboard standoff screws, and a whole bunch of miscellaneous screws, including tool-free screws, and you also have your screws for mounting fans. And finally, the last bit is an optional Kensington lock option that you could put in later on to just your side panel. As for the front panel connectors, you will find, let's just take a closer look. You have a USB port. Actually, it is already cable managed. Your front panel audio, which is yellow, and your USB 2.0 ports. You have a 4-pin Molex female to 4-pin Molex male. To power one of the LEDs, and you have your front panel switches and LED connectors, including your power switch, reset switch, hard drive LED, and your power LED. As for the fans, they're 3-pin fans, but they come with a male and female 4-pin adapter for Molex. This makes it much more convenient to connect it to your power supply. The power supply is bottom mounted and comes with a dust filter. This dust filter can be serviced if you remove the plastic pins that hold it in place. The Cubitek M4 has a toolless PCI mounting lock, and take note that the PCI expansion slot covers, once taken out, cannot be put back in. The Cubitek M4 supports motherboards that are ATX and micro ATX and even mini ITX in size. As you can see, there is a large CPU cutout for mounting aftermarket heatsinks, and there is a motherboard standoff mounting guide etched into the motherboard tray itself. There are 4 5 1/4 inch external drive bays, the topmost of which has a built-in 3.5 inch adapter. They all use this tool-free locking mechanism to mount all the drives. As for 3.5 inch drives, there are actually a total of 6, including 1 on top, 2 right here in the middle, and 3 more at the bottom. Now this middle compartment has a space for 2.5-inch drives, and this is actually removable, so you can install a very large video card such as the HD 6990 or the HD 5970, which is about 13 inches in length, and you can remove this hard drive case completely to make enough room to mount your very large video card. There's also space to mount 120 or 140 millimeter intake fan to aid with the airflow. With the right side panel removed, you can see some of the cable management options that are available in the Cubitek M4. Although you have the standard large CPU cutout, there is no hole in the top to route your 4-pin or 8-pin motherboard power connector. Although there is a mounting area for the hard HD audio from the front panel, and there's actually enough space here to store your extra cables. We'll see later, once we have installed all our components in the system, just how the Cubitek M4 handles cable management.